Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Monday. Okay, so tonight I have a very special guest that's going to be joining me for this live stream. I'm super excited. I'm going to be having a discussion with Miss Crystal Gayle Dorian, who is a chronic disease and disability warrior. She's going to be sharing her experience with using CBD and natural medicine to aid her in her recovery. So I'm going to go ahead. Crystal, you can go ahead and send me a request to join. I'll go ahead and let you join the video. So you guys, this conversation is so very important because many times, people go to doctors who don't really have an understanding of natural health. Also, they don't have an understanding of how the mind and your mindset plays a role in your recovery. So we're going to be having this discussion because Crystal was someone who went to a doctor at one point and was told she wouldn't walk again and probably other things. I'm going to let her tell the story, but this happens so often. And a lot of times people feel like they cannot question authority. They can't do their own research and go a different route. So I'm excited to have her share her experience with using natural holistic plant-based methods to aid in her recovery. So I'm going to bring her on now so she can chat with us. Because right now, especially just with everything going on in society, I feel like it's so important for people to understand that there is always an alternative route, and that is using nature, using what's natural and healthy for us as medicine. So, hey, Crystal, super excited
Hi.
tonight. Thank you so much for doing this. I know it's short notice, but I was just like, oh, yeah, I have to have this conversation because it's so very important, and you look beautiful. So,
Thank
welcome.
you. Health and
Um,
beauty. Oh, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Hold on.
So what I want everybody to do right now while Crystal is getting ready, please tag someone, share this post, like it. We want as many people as possible to be here tonight with us for this conversation. So please go ahead and send this out,
Yes.
tag
Yes.
some people, and let's jump into this important topic. So first and foremost, I want you, Crystal, to just go ahead and kind of introduce yourself so people know your backstory, what your experience has been like, and then we'll get into it.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Crystal Gayle Dorian, and I have been through hell and back. Okay. So I am a licensed cosmetologist. I am a health and beauty, fitness, nutrition enthusiast. So I'm all about holistic enhancement from the inside out, top to bottom. That is my personal brand. That's the message that I promote. And it's so ironic that in 2017, I got blindsided, okay, with chronic illness. I literally thought I was healthy. Okay, I ate fairly healthy. I was vegan for a few years and I exercised. I was super mom, super wife, just enjoying life. I had finally left corporate America and ventured out to do my health and beauty entrepreneurship endeavors that I've always been interested in. So I really thought that I was girl living, okay? So 2017, I started having numbness and tingling in my feet. And I thought it was some shoes that I purchased. So I stopped wearing the shoes. Okay. I threw them in my trunk and I was like, these shoes have my feet hurt.
Mhm.
So kept going, kept going. The numbness and tingling got worse. The muscle fatigue, the pain, the cramps. I noticed my energy was not there. I noticed that my endurance, I just did not feel well at all. My
Mhm.
hair started coming out in clumps. My skin, I literally turned a different shade and I was having all types of acne breakouts, just everything. So I kept trying to self-diagnose because, that's what us naturalists do.
We do.
So I kept, not saying anything. So I suffered in silence for a long time. because, you know, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, you know, my husband traveled for his job. We had things to do, you know, I had to work. So I kept going, I kept going, I kept going until I just couldn't go anymore. I literally woke up one morning and I couldn't move. I couldn't get out of bed. I was in so much pain. And I told my husband, I said, something's really, really wrong. And, you know, after that, I started going to a chiropractic doctor, still trying to do a more holistic, healthy route. And she was like, I'm going to be honest with you. You're doing your nutrition, um, supplementing, and you should be getting better. I don't want to keep taking your money and you're not getting better. So that's when I started a 7-month venture of going from doctor to doctor to test results, from test results to getting worse. Okay. It was horrible. Finally, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't control my bladder. I couldn't dress myself. I couldn't do anything anymore. I couldn't work. I was devastated. So after 7 months, I was finally diagnosed with 2 neuromuscular rare diseases, or conditions they would call it, that they said there were no cure for. So
What was the name?
chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. It's a mouthful.
Oh,
So
because
trying to process that name, first
right.
of all, and just process what all they were telling me, I was like, what did you even say? What does this mean?
Can you say the
Ba-
name one more time?
yeah, for everybody. Me too.
Right.
Chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. So
Wow.
that meant it was a chronic inflammatory condition
Hmm.
that was attacking my nerve and muscles.
So this sounds, and I'm just listening to what you're describing. Both of my parents have autoimmune illnesses. My mom has rheumatoid arthritis. My dad has multiple sclerosis. It sounds like both of those combined together with like the symptoms that you have.
It's the entire nervous and muscular system
Dang.
that controls your entire body.
Hmm.
So because of that, I had chronic fatigue, chronic pain, um, partial paralysis, disability. My organs were not functioning right because your nerves and your muscles control everything.
Right.
So holistically and naturally, I knew that stress
Hmm.
had gotten to me. Hustling, doing the most, grinding, you know, as we try to glorify it, which is
And that
burnout.
stress is real, right? And how people don't realize we internalize stress, especially as women, and on top of women, especially Black women. We wear so many hats. We do
Yes,
so. We provide. We
yes,
take care of families,
yes,
and that stress. People do
yes,
understand how stress is at the root
girl.
of, and inflammation too. Both
It
at the
it
root
almost
of
killed me. It
almost all.
almost killed me. It literally almost killed me.
Mhm.
Like my heart was beating irregular. My lungs wouldn't expand to get a proper breath. Like I was being rushed to the emergency room. I couldn't hold my bladder, TMI, but I'm out here really trying to
Real, yeah.
spread the awareness and let everybody know how real it is. And, you know, if I could go back in time, everybody always says that, I would take better care of myself. I
Right.
knew better. And like I said in the beginning, I thought I was healthy. You know, I ate good, I exercised, but I even learned that I was over exercising my body.
Mm-hmm.
I was stressing my body out because exercise was my stress reliever. It was my time, girl. It was like my little self-care getaway love affair. Okay. But I would exercise at least 2 hours a day, or that's how long the routine would take.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go to the salon and work for hours. I would schedule appointments and take kids to practice games, be there when a repairman needed to get into the house because, you know, I had to handle everything. My husband was there, but he traveled, so I was it, and it was a lot. There were nights I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
There was nights that, I may have gotten 2, 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
but lunches were packed, clothes were folded, it was too much. It was literally too
Right.
much. And it wasn't until my doctor kept prescribing, girl, that's a whole skit. Okay. My doctor experience.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I am very silly. I like to laugh. I like to, I'm a very happy person, energetic person. So being depressed, devastated, woe is I, being
Yeah.
told you would never walk again, losing all your hair, your skin is just
What was
irritated.
that like, having somebody, especially going from being someone who's into fitness, you're a cosmetologist, which I didn't know that. And we have a lot in common because I'm also a licensed
No
cosmetologist.
way.
That's
See?
how I started my entrepreneurial journey. And it was the same thing. Like me being very much in my own health and fitness,
Yeah.
educate my clients on how to eat healthier.
That's what I was doing.
And a lot of people too don't even understand in that line of work. That's a lot of strain on your body as well.
Girl, mentally and physically, because
Not
I have a
out.
degree in psychology, so I left corporate in the mental health arena,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm still counseling my
Yeah,
clients every day.
right.
Like I'm their personal therapist. Okay, so you got their issues, their concerns, your appointments with them, and then your life. It's just a lot to manage, and it's physical and mental. You're talking every day, your own. It's a lot of work. And then I wasn't sleeping and exercising on top of that. My body was inflamed. Okay.
Right.
Unfortunately, I was living off of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But I ate, I was vegan. I ate my salads, and I called myself a healthy vegan because I didn't do a lot of fried things or whatever. But I learned that all of that doesn't matter if all of that doesn't matter.
If you're still stressed out at the core, you're not sleeping. I think what's so important about what you're saying is that for one, your body keeps score. So we live in hustle culture, team no sleep. I'm going to grind it out. I'm going to get it while I can. I'll sleep later. Your body is taking tally. And like you said,
Yes.
it can just come out of the blue.
Yes.
Highly stressful lives. And a lot of times we don't realize how much stress we're under because we're so used to it.
Yes.
Being used to dysfunction. It's like, it's
Yes.
still functional. You're used to not sleeping.
Right.
You feel like
Right.
you're running on just drinking coffee and
Yeah.
grabbing whatever you can grab.
Yeah.
Taking care of everybody else and kind of putting yourself on the back burner. And it's
Yeah.
like, your body will come for you. You're going to have to pay that tax.
Girl, it was like, okay, you're not going to sit down and rest. I'm going to make you rest.
Right.
Like, I could not walk. I don't know if people can really process that because it took a while for me to process. My doctor she literally broke it to me and she was like, this is serious. People are on ventilators in your condition, diagnosed with this same thing. They're vegetables. There's no cure. Like, I'm really listening to this and processing this like, wait, what?
Yeah.
What? It was devastating. Okay. But then I got mad. And I'm so glad that I'm the type of person where you're not going to just tell me, what I can't do.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to show you. So that's when I applied my faith. I'm a very spiritual person. Yes. And I don't care what people may practice. I just believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Absolutely are.
So you have to tap into that.
Your divine infinite self.
Hello. So I really appreciate my doctor now for telling me and talking to me the way she did. Girl, I really felt abused. Like, there was no bedside manners. There was no empathy. It was, you're not accepting what I'm telling you. I think you need to see a psychiatrist. I'm like, I have a psychiatry background. What
Wow.
you're telling me is some bull crap, okay?
Exactly.
And you should never tell any of your patients this. People don't have the mental strength that other people have. And
Absolutely.
they view you as a professional white coat person. And they're like, if my doctor telling me this, why am I going to even try?
And
You know?
I want to leave it right there just for everybody that's listening, so you guys really understand. You said something that was so important. For one, you tapped into your faith, and that's what Western medicine doesn't take into
Yeah.
account.
Yeah.
For one, you are, like you said, you're an energetic, you're an
She told me I was crazy.
have human experience, and you are the creator of your reality. So
Yes.
you can think your way out of illness. You can
Yes.
will your way
Girl,
with your faith out of
I
illness.
was talking to my limbs. Okay. Like,
Absolutely.
strengthen, like you will, like every little step that I tried to make. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with my videos, but I couldn't walk. Like it
Oh
was,
yeah, your page.
I
So
couldn't use my
yeah.
fingers. Like there were days that I couldn't even pick up a fork and eat.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my fingers were so weak, they did not work. Like, how do your fingers just don't work? How do your legs not just work? Like my body
Right.
just broke on me. But I had to believe every day, no matter what anybody told me, no matter what anybody said. And all the doctor did was prescribe treatment after treatment. And I will admit, in the beginning, they scared the life out of me. They told me that I would die if I didn't take the medication, that, you know, like my heart would stop beating because that's a muscle and I have a rare neuromuscular issue. So, and I was having, you know, I could feel my irregular heartbeat. I could feel me gasping for air. I could feel just the acid eating at my nerves. Girl, I felt like I was inflamed. Like I felt like I was burning up
Right.
on a barbecue grill or being cremated or something. And I'm not even playing. And the zaps, like the electronic or electricity charges from
Mm-hmm.
my nerves breaking down, my myelin sheath being attacked and eaten at because of the acids in my body. Like, I just really want everybody to know how serious it is. So I'm using those descriptive words because when I just say it,
And is real, y'all. To be in a constant inflammatory state, that's a real thing. Again, please share, send this out. Let's get more people tapped into this conversation because it's so very important. Because you are the doctor of your own body, you're the doctor of your own life.
yes,
There should never be a time you let anybody give
yeah,
you a end all be all
yeah,
answer what's going on with your
yeah,
body. You always have the right to
yeah,
do research, to tap into something that is on a higher level than what is practiced in Western medicine. I hate to see that. I've had my mom had a rheumatologist straight tell her, you cannot be my patient if you are not willing to take medicine. It's as simple as that. Like, I don't want to talk about nothing natural, nothing holistic. You take
wow.
the medication or you have to find a different doctor. So it gets real. And
And see, they bully you into that.
they tried to scare the life
Yep.
out of you.
Yep.
And most people don't have that mental capacity or that faith within themselves to really say, you know what,
Yeah.
this is my body and I don't accept that. So
Yeah. Yeah. I'm very in tune with my body.
mm-hmm.
And when I started taking the medicine, well, the first type of treatment that I received was an IV treatment. So it's other people's plasma to kind of help stop the fight or flight or the inflammatory response that your body's having. So I had, it was supposed to be a 5-day dose. And I was on day 2. I was so against it. I prayed about it. I know God told me not to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I called back that day, and that's when they were like, you know, if you don't do this, you're going to be permanently paralyzed. And, you know, it'll start trying to reverse where you are now, because I was desperate. So I did it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Day 2, my body started having an allergic reaction to it. Like, heck no, we don't want this. And I was sent to the emergency room where it was a 14-day hospital stay. And I left there weaker, totally dependent then, because I couldn't even stand up on my own after leaving the hospital and being bedridden like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they literally released me in a wheelchair on the curb, like, you know, it wasn't anything. So I had to see my doctor after that, and she wanted to try it again. I was like, no, we're not trying it again.
Right.
Absolutely not. So then she gave me the steroids. Okay, the high dosage of steroids, and another medication, Mestinon. It's supposed to stop the symptoms of, like, girl, everything was happening. Like, my eyes were, the nerves in my eyes were weak. So my eyes were floating.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my vision was going in and out. I couldn't chew some days because my jaws were, like, everything was just, I didn't have function over anything. So the Mestinon is supposed to help with the function of that. The steroids slow down the inflammation and give you strength because you have chronic fatigue. So, and then it was the gabapentin. That's supposed to help the nerve zaps and the spasms and all of that. So I started taking it. Girl, I gained 30 pounds within 1 month from the steroids, first of all.
The steroids that do it every time. I can
Blew
look
me up.
tell with steroids. It's
Because you get the moon phase. You get the moon phase and all, you're retaining all the water. So I started noticing all the symptoms: depression, the bloatingness, the aggression, muscle weakness, joint pain, bone weakness. I could literally, when I would move around, I could hear my bones and joints pop.
Wow.
And I was like, this is worse than what it was. So the medication was making it worse. I started researching all of the medication, all of the symptoms, and then I started researching healthy, natural, alternative supplements, herbs, vitamins that I could naturally take. What food would give me that nutrient that I needed that my body was deficient in. And my doctor got pissed because she was like, are you trying to wean yourself off this medicine? Heck yes.
What are you saying? Of course I am.
Girl, it became crazy. She would call the pharmacist to see if I filled and picked up a prescription. She would try to see me, you know, like often.
Real quick, because y'all have to catch that, and it's like I swear I'm not knocking traditional doctors.
I know.
Some of them know not what they do, while others know exactly what they're doing. They know that they are pushing drugs on people at work that cause other problems, and they are in bed with these pharmaceutical companies. But there are doctors out here who they truly don't know. You know, they believe in what they were taught in school, and y'all have to understand that in medical school in this country, you are not taught about natural medicine, herbs, nutrition, none of that stuff. You are taught how to do surgery and how to prescribe medication.
Exactly. Exactly.
You can educate yourself and
Yes.
know more than a doctor about healing your body.
What specialist tells you that? This specialist literally said, you know more about this than me.
Right.
My response was, this is my life. This is just your job. This is my life.
Oh my God. Yes.
So I started, girl, okay, that changed with, it was one appointment. That was the turning point. One appointment. I went to the appointment. She was telling me how much worse I was doing and how weak I was. Mind you, I was withdrawn from the medication. The fake strength from the steroids. Right. You know, all of those things. So yeah, I was a little weak. And people get afraid when they start feeling some symptoms. In order to heal and reverse what's going on, you're going to have to go through some of those pains, okay? So if you want to pop a pill for everything, this may not be what you need, because that's not the natural life. However, this is what's sustainable. This is what's long-term. This is what is health, okay? But she didn't want to hear it. She didn't want to hear it. I knew it, and I laugh about it, Keba, and I don't mean to make light of it, but it's like, I'm a very funny person, but it's like when I play it back in my head, it's comical, because this lady asked me if I would just bite the pill each day.
Are you kidding me?
Who tells you that? She said, can you just bite the pill? That's when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm doing something right. If I'm getting, but okay, back to my story. I don't want to get sidetracked. The turnaround day, she made me cry again. And she was so rude to me. She said, and threw me a box of Kleenex. All you do is cry. Every time you come to the appointment, you need to get yourself together. You just crying every time. I'll give you a minute. You let me know when you're ready. And
Wow.
did this. I looked at my sister like,
Wait, she was what?
she waited for me to get myself together.
Huh?
And it's so funny now because I created a t-shirt that has "Get Yourself Together."
Mm-hmm.
But I had my brand, my personal brand on the back, you know, like inside out, top to bottom. I turned her statement into motivation for me.
Absolutely.
I left that appointment and I said, she will never, ever see me cry again. She will never see me in that state that I was in. Each time I see her, I'm going to get better and better. And I'm going to show her. Like, I left there, like, wiping my tears, like, I'm going to show her. Like, girl, I came home.
Was this the same doctor who told you you wouldn't walk again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, she has bars of things that she has told me that's comical. You know, I would die if I didn't take the medication. You know, I would be permanently paralyzed. She would say things like, when you have to go to the emergency room, because you're going to have to go if you're not taking the medicine. You know, things like that. So I just dove into the natural herbs. I not only discovered that when you take them internally, the benefits that you get, but even applying them externally. So girl, I started making my own concoctions, clearing up my skin issues, my hair started growing because a dermatologist told me that my two options for alopecia were to get a skin biopsy and see what they could do, and to get steroid shots in my head. No, thank you for neither one. Okay. So I literally started infusing those medicinal herbs into great oils, like, you know, your avocado, your coconut. It's a blend. But I started, you know, applying it to my scalp because I could feel the inflammation in my scalp too, you know, the burning and just the hair shedding and even the dandruff. Like, my scalp was inflamed. Your skin is your largest organ, so everything was inflamed on me.
Your skin a lot of times is the first thing to tell on you when something is not right. So actually, a lot of people are thinking, what can I put on my face? But it's an internal problem. And when you have acne, your body is telling you something is off here. There's some imbalance somewhere. So it's a problem.
Exactly. So when you have a physician that tells you your nutrition doesn't matter, you need
run.
Like the real sound.
Run.
Seriously. So I started setting the appointments. They would call me, girl. It became kind of stalkerish. She would call me and be like, you're not going to come. I see you canceled your appointment. You're not going to come in and see me. And I was like, no, I'm good right now because, mind you, I can't work. You know, thank God that, you know, I have a husband, but we went from a 2-income family household to one immediately, like not even planned out, not, you know, with medical bills. Okay.
Right.
So a visit for her, because she was a specialist, even with insurance, was $500 out of pocket. So I feel like I'm just a chronic illness, health and beauty, disability advocate on so many levels, because it not only robs you of your ability to make an income for yourself, but these doctors are robbing people and they're not providing any type of really help. No help.
Right. The treatment is not.
No.
The treatment is not helping you, and they're making money every time you show up. And it's like, but I'm not getting better though.
not getting better at all. So I had it. I was doing things my way. I was letting her know when I was going to come in for an appointment, you know, because I still needed her paperwork because I was on disability. But I literally, I just asked her for physical therapy papers. That's what I asked her for. She didn't even want to do that because she said I wasn't even in a state where they would take me because I was basically just stuck in the wheelchair. She didn't even want to do that. I said, please, like, can you just let them tell me no?
Right.
So my first appointment was an evaluation. So they did the evaluation to see if they could even take me on as a patient. And like one of my first assignments was just to try to stand up out of the wheelchair. So I would break out in sweats just doing that. Like my body was so weak, so fatigued. And I noticed that the steroids did help on that aspect. So when I started to get, what's the word? When I started to want to compromise, that's when I knew, no, I needed another alternative, a healthy alternative. So I turned to YouTube because I was just trying to search what is CIDP? Like, I never heard of it. What is myasthenia gravis? Because I was also diagnosed with that too. That's also another neuromuscular. Yeah. So this one affects mostly your upper body, and the CIDP affects your limbs, your legs, arms, everything. So when I started researching the inflammation and the nerve pain, that's when I discovered the CBD.
Yes.
And I started reading, and I was like, well, that makes sense. And now I told you that my background is in psychology. So I was actually a substance abuse and family therapist. So I was a counselor for people that had drug addictions and everything. And I would also always have this one patient that would say, every time you test me, I'm going to test positive for marijuana. She said, because that's keeping me off of everything else.
Right.
She said, they want to give me all these prescriptions. And, you know, I was like, okay, cool. You know, if you already got the understanding, you know it, you're doing good. You know, she was very, like, her life had changed. And we noticed it, and you couldn't deny it. So as her counselor, I was cool with it.
Right.
So when I found all the information about the cannabinoids in the system, I was like, this makes sense.
And let's put it right here, y'all, because again, this is how you as a person can know more than a doctor. Doctors do not learn about the endocannabinoid system at all in medical school. They do not know.
I educated my doctor about it.
The most important system in your body that is responsible for maintaining balance over every other system. They do not learn about this in school. Again, doctors do not learn about herbs, nutrition. I did a talk one time at Morehouse School of Medicine and had doctors asking me questions, and I'm a self-taught nutrition coach.
Right.
Not learn this, guys, at all, unless they take it upon themselves to get educated around it. Now, you have doctors who realize I'm not really helping people. I'm prescribing medication that's not helping people, and I'm suggesting surgery. Let me learn about alternative holistic methods. But a regular doctor who does not take that extra step, they don't learn about this. So when it comes to things like CBD, cannabis, they are not knowledgeable about this. Okay?
No, not at all. And I made it my business because she would ask me, well, what are you doing? And I told her exactly what I was doing. Now, I couldn't inhale it because of how weak my body was and everything. For the first time I did that, like, I felt the results immediately, but I just passed out. It was just like, okay, that's a little bit too strong. But that's when I learned about, and then my husband also, you know, I had to give him his flowers for that. He really helped me. I thought I heard him coming. He really helped me with decarbon the flour to make a natural oil using the coconut oil and things like that. And because in the beginning, now he's always been a cannabis advocate, but when it came to health, because it's so stigmatized. You know, people don't really want to equate health.
People don't want to look at cannabis as medicine first. It's drug still to people who are not, which is why having these type of conversations is so important, and why I go so hard for it, because this is medicine, one of the oldest, safest forms of medicine, first and foremost, regardless of what you think about it.
Yes.
It is not.
So if I can take a natural plant
that
the oil has been extracted from it to keep from having muscle spasms, muscle cramps, neuropathy, where the numbness and tingling is in your leg, versus a pill, which side effects are epilepsy, seizures,
death,
muscle weak, right.
All these medications. Don't forget what that last little punchline,
girl.
It may result in death.
No, let me tell you something funny. Okay, so my 13-year-old son, because you know everybody in my household is like, mom is, you know, got us all together. Okay, so he was coming out to get some water. He wanted to refill his water tank. He walked out and he put his container down. He went to the restroom. He came back out. He said, dang, when I came out, that commercial was talking about the side effects. They still talking about the side effects. They were talking about the side effects more than they were talking about what the medication do. Now, if a 13-year-old noticed that from the advertising, why aren't adults noticing that? Right. But when you try to talk about the natural things that I do, the CBD oil, well, what's in it and how you do that and what you do and the juice and eating healthy, what's in that and what you got 20 million questions
and brainwashed, and it's sad, but this is why we have to be advocates for natural health, for cannabis, because we are brainwashed, y'all, as a people, to question everything that is really good for us, but we will blindly go along with things that are unhealthy. As a holistic nutrition coach, that's the story of my life, where people question why you eating that? But we'll eat fast food, we'll drink soda, we'll eat fried chicken and all of this stuff that can literally kill you, and they don't blink an eye. We'll give, you know, juice boxes, Pop-Tarts, Capri Suns to their children, but then we'll say, well, is it safe for kids to be plant-based? So we have to just sometimes step back and realize, like, we question natural medicine, we question herbs, eating healthy, using things like cannabis, but we'll take a pill where, like your son said, the side effects, they list the side effects for 5 minutes straight, and it can kill you. They're
and death. Like, they literally have said.
And we'll say it's smiling. It's a commercial with people laughing, talking in the background, but they shooting off those side effects.
Right.
And you said, say it with a smile.
Right.
And when it comes to doctors, again, I'm not knocking, but you have to be willing to question authority. I've literally had people taking CBD and doing extremely well.
Yeah.
My blood pressure went down.
All of that.
Arthritis. I'm getting off of medications. And
okay. So let me just run through the benefits that I saw from it. Okay. So just from being on the medication, the prescription medication for 9 months, I was on it for 9 months. Over the 9 months, I gained 65 pounds.
Wow.
I was aggressive, more depressive. Literally, like, that was one of the side effects, depression. So I started having panic attacks. Literally, when one of my family members would put me over in the bathtub, I would have panic attacks. Now, as I told you, I'm a mental health counselor. You read about this, you learn about this in college, but to actually experience it yourself is something totally different. So I don't argue with people when they want to debate and go back, because I know what it has done for me, you know, personally. Okay. So the anxiety, the depression, the fear, like just having thoughts of like, hey, what if the house catch on fire and I can't run or walk? Like, those were literally fears of mine. And I have 2 children that I'm the mom and main caregiver.
Right.
They depend on me and I need help. You know, so like my dad had to move in with us. My mom had to come up every weekend because she was still working. So it's like, I felt bad because I felt like my whole family was inconvenienced, had to do more, chip in. My friends helped out a lot. So when you think about the whole picture of your health and wellness, it affects your family and your friends and people that love you. So we should want to be healthy, not only for ourselves, but the strain that you put. I literally had mom guilt because I felt like my kids had to grow up faster than they should have. And I look back at it now and I thank God that I used it as teaching moments because I taught them how to cook. You know, we bonded more. I always looked at the positive in the situation so that I wouldn't get upset. Because if you focused on the negative, you will be depressed. So it's about your mindset.
Liz Chronicles is saying that the rheumatoid arthritis med she was prescribed caused her to experience weight gain, hair loss, mood changes, brain chemistry changes, teeth damage, and more. And I can attest to that. My mom couldn't walk. Her knees were bone on bone. Literally, the doctor told her he had never seen knees as bad as hers and couldn't even believe that she could walk. My mom couldn't walk more than like 5 steps. And she was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis at about 35. And it started with her not being able to use her hands, you know, going to brush her teeth and she couldn't even squeeze the toothpaste bottle. And it just came out of nowhere too. But you know, now understanding these type of illnesses, you know that it is high levels of stress and inflammation. And she was taking all the medication. She would get steroid shots in her knees and her ankles, and then she started researching it. And she said, "I will be dead by the time I'm 50 if I do not get my medications." And same thing would have the swelling in her face from all the steroids. And she slowly started weaning herself off.
Yep.
Using natural methods.
I know that I would still be in the wheelchair. I would still be totally dependent, wearing Depends, and bald head, literally, with skin issues, acne, rashes. Like, I would still be in that state if I would listen to the advice that they were giving me.
Right.
If I would be a good little patient.
And that's what they want a lot of times too, guys. Like I said, I've had people who had chronic ailments and they started using CBD and stopped using the medications and had doctors straight tell them, you need to get back on your meds. And because of that white coat and that authority, you're getting something that you know is helping you to get back to something that you know is not helping you. And it's like psychological. Unfortunately, my neighbor who lives next door to me, his wife had been in cancer remission for years. I didn't even know she had cancer. She was such an upbeat, just beautiful spirit. They would get up and walk every morning. She wasn't overweight. And she died. Literally, the day she died, he ran over and asked my son to call 911 for him.
Oh, my God.
And we ended up talking. And do you know, her doctor literally, she got a new doctor. This doctor called her out of the blue and told her about this new cancer medication. You need to get on this medication. I know you've been in remission, blah, blah, blah. She got on the medication and died within, literally, died within a week.
Now, that is pathetic because when I went back to my doctor after 2 years of doing my physical therapy, and I'm even mad about the physical therapy because I was so motivated. I was doing so well in physical therapy. And after 6 months, they said that I needed to take a break and try to come back in about 3 months. And I was like, why? My insurance, I still have insurance, it's covering it. I have an out-of-pocket pay. I'm willing to pay that. But why do we need to stop? They really couldn't give me an answer, but I was doing so well. I think I was doing so well that they wanted to stop me from coming and see if I would kind of regress a little bit. Right. And have to get more sessions. I just don't understand it. So I got mad about that. And I started doing my own. I started, and that's when I really got better, because I would literally have to roll off the couch onto the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't get down. I couldn't get up. So doing that really strengthened my body, because I didn't want anybody to help me. Like, my family members used to really want to try to pick me up and put me back on the couch or put me on the floor, and I would fall and I would sweat and just really struggle to get up. And sometimes it would take me 15 minutes just to get off the floor, but I would do it. It wasn't pretty, but I would do it. Sometimes I would have to pick a leg up and throw it over the couch and dig in with my elbows, but I kept doing things like that to get stronger and to get more independent. But I started getting down on the floor, doing stretches, using elastic bands, some things that I learned from the physical therapist, but also some things that I learned just from exercising and being a fitness person myself. So you still have to incorporate those things and go back to what works. It's always going to be your spiritual, your nutrition, your mind, your mental health, what you're eating, what you're thinking, your lifestyle, how you sleep, how you work, how you interact with other people. It's total self-enhancement, and it's all of those things. And I was able to really understand that with the CBD, because of the calmness and it taking away my anxiety and my fears of, I'm sitting here in pain. Girl, I attribute these frown lines right here to just being in pain so much, and just in the bedridden, just frowning. And my husband would look at me sometimes, he'd be like, I know you're hurting, baby. Fix your face, and he was like, it's all over your face. And he was like, you're over there just, it was constant pain. So the more that I take it, and people are like, well, I tried CBD and it didn't do anything for me. It's not something that you try for one time and you try to see how you feel. It's about putting it in your system.
Yep.
And really, to me, what do you not feel now? Do you not feel so stressed? Do you not feel overwhelmed? Do you not feel a sense of hopelessness? Because it made me more, like I said, hopeful and in tune to myself that, hey, I'm a spiritual being. I can do all things through Christ that strengthens. Like, I was really able to focus more on the good.
Right.
And it helped with the pain. It calmed. Like, I was so inflamed, I would have to put ice packs on my legs and my arms and everything, because my body was literally just on fire like that. And the CBD oil helped with that. We would cook with it. When we made food, I would put it in my salad dressings.
Because this is what CBD is naturally. It is naturally anti-inflammatory. It is naturally going to bring that calmness to your mind and body. These are the properties that are found within the cannabis plant, and specifically within CBD, which is derived from the hemp side of the cannabis plant.
Yes.
And something I want everybody to understand, this is why I always say everybody should be using CBD every single day, because your body keeps score, okay?
Yeah.
We live in a society where the air is polluted. The water has fluoride in it. Most people are eating terrible foods that are genetically modified, full of refined sugars. We put a lot of stress on ourselves. A lot of people work jobs they freaking hate. They don't sleep well at night. Your body is all adding up. And a lot of people are already in constant inflammation, but they just don't know it yet.
Right.
Their body has not said, all right, now I'm going to need you to pay your tab.
Right.
It can just come crashing down. So what he does is it interacts with your endocannabinoid system. It regulates all of these body functions that you have. So say you're somebody who is dealing with high levels of inflammation. The CBD is going to interact with your endocannabinoid system, and it's going to reduce the inflammation. It's going to interact with that system and help regulate your sleep patterns, so you're sleeping the right way. It's also going to help with depression, with anxiety, because of the properties that are naturally within this compound. We have more receptors, y'all, in the body for CBD we do for any other natural compound. We are supposed to have cannabis in our bodies. Our bodies were built to process every single part of the cannabis plant. So just going back to the notion of it is medicine, y'all. First and foremost, no matter what, you don't have to wait until something catastrophic happens. You should have them now.
Right. But I also learned that for every symptom that we have, there's a natural remedy for that symptom. So instead of always trying to find a pill for that, like I don't even take aspirin. I don't need to take a Tylenol.
That is no medication.
Nothing. Over the counter, no cough syrup, nothing at all. So you know how they said like there's an app for that, there's an herb for that.
It's an herb for it, it's a spice.
It's a plant for it, right. Right. So it works. And you know, I went live the other day, Sunday. What's today?
Monday. It's Monday.
So I went live yesterday from the trampoline park. And I was so emotional because the last time I was there, I had to hold my husband's hand. I still jumped, I still did it, but I held his hand. Girl, this time I was flapping my arms, jumping by myself, and I just got teary-eyed because, and I have a personal trampoline here, but I have the one with the bars on it so I can hold on. But just to see the progress, because I'm not 100% yet, but I'm going to keep working on it. You know, and I say yet because I have gone from not being able to lift my arm. Like, I couldn't dress myself. Like, I was literally just a vegetable, and people had to lift my arms and my legs and scoop me up out of the bed. Like, oh, sorry. So, girl, let me tell you how bad I wanted it. You know, I always tell everybody, you know, like, I'm so funny, I'm so silly. Girl, I used to dream that I was running again, walking again, healed again, and I would wake up and be like, oh, I'm healed, girl. I would take one step, put one foot on the floor, and just collapse.
For training your brain, though, like if you for anybody that's tuned in tonight, if you watch The Secret, you know things like this, the law of attraction, speaking of existence.
I was envisioning it. I was getting the feelings.
To visualize it, it's gonna arrive in your mind before it manifests into your experience. But that is literally how you will yourself into being well, and not just accepting what somebody tells you. And this, you know, was my mentality throughout the whole entire pandemic. I don't subscribe to illness. People, what do you mean? But people are dying. Okay. But that's not my reality, though. I create my own reality. So I don't watch the news. I don't subscribe to illness. I subscribe to a source of wellness. So that is where I'm going to focus my energy at. I'm going to exercise. I'm a juice. I'm going to take my CBD. Have as little stress as possible in my life. And I'm going to just make sure I'm doing my due diligence to stay well versus being scared and focused on being sick, because you can also invite sickness into your life. Without realizing that you're doing that.
And the fear that they try to instill in you. I was told not to be outside much.
I said fear weakens your immune system, literally.
Definitely. So they told me I couldn't get too much sun exposure. Definitely don't try to swim, because they wanted to try to do water aerobics with me at the physical therapy facility, and they were like, no, that will exacerbate all of my nerves and my muscles, and I could drown. That's what they told me. I could drown. Swimming was one of the best exercises, girl.
The sun too.
The sun,
as a melanated woman, you need the sun more than anything.
But you want to prescribe me vitamin D pills. And when I looked at the ingredients, they have all types of canola oil, citric acids, all still not clean.
Vitamin D free right
Girl,
from the source, which is also
laying
like,
out, laying out in the sun. And I would go out there with my walker. I sure would. I would put my bathing suit on over my body that would no longer retain muscles. I think that's what they told me. I would not retain any muscle mass anymore. And I have noticed that I'm not as toned as I used to be, but I'm working on that too. You already know it.
get there, right? You're doing everything. So I see here in the comment, sea moss, black seed oil, CBD oil. Absolutely. This is my trifecta, guys.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
black seed oil and CBD every single morning. I
Yeah.
juice, add sea
Yeah.
moss to my but you're so right. The sun, this is like one of the most healing
Yeah.
things that you can
Yeah.
expose yourself to, and it's free. It's
Yes.
free.
Yes. And let me just say this too, because I have a lot of people that I talk to, that I consult with, that are not willing, listen, they're not willing to even change their diet.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I can't stop eating, my dairy, or I can't stop eating all my meat, and I can't. Okay, well, there's not much I can do for you. I mean, I'm just telling you what works for me,
Mm-hmm.
and what works for other people that I know that have done that instead of the traditional prescription route, and you still aren't any healthier. You're actually worse.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, no, it's not easy, but it's not hard. And
Well,
once you
what's right is
start,
rarely easy. The right thing is not going. The
right,
easiest thing is rarely the right thing,
right,
guys.
right. But when you start making those changes into your diet,
Mm-hmm.
into setting a bedtime and going to bed early, girl, I have me an eye mask and I black it out and I lay there and I let my body fall to sleep.
Yep.
And I wake up feeling so refreshed in the morning. But it's like, if you're in chronic pain, if your nerves and muscles are spazzing all night, you can't even get a good night rest. So I literally was having like brain spasms, and I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I was about to have a seizure because of the gabapentin that I was on. So I definitely had to stop doing that, and it didn't even help. Like, my doctor would say it would take a while to get in my system. Okay, well, why not do something natural that will also take a while to get in your system, that's
Exactly.
actually beneficial?
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So I just changed all of that. Girl, when I went back to see her after 2 years, the nurses, the front desk attendant, he even noticed. He was like, wait a minute, you were that girl that you came in the wheelchair. He was like, you almost had me crying. I
Wow.
mean, I was so pathetic. Other people would just see me and be like, oh my gosh, like, would feel sorry for me.
And what was your age, if you don't mind me asking, when you got the diagnosis?
Girl, 37 years, young and active. Okay.
And that's another thing I want people to realize is that your body keeps scoring, and it doesn't matter your age. It doesn't matter. You can think, well, I'm healthy, I'm pretty much
Yes.
in shape, but
Yes.
y'all, that stress, that
Yes.
not getting sleep,
Yep.
that not living a healthy
Right.
lifestyle, it
Right.
will catch you just
Right.
literally out of the blue.
Right. Right. So I'm so glad that you are doing what you're doing. My husband was motivated because of the health benefits that I got from it, girl. Because in the beginning, he was so afraid too, and I understand it. But he was like, "You better take that medicine like the doctor." He was like, and I was like, "You don't understand the way that it's making me feel, the side effects that I'm feeling. No, I'm going to do this the natural way." So when he saw that I was really serious, and it was some times where we both were scared, and I was kind of like, "Ooh, just give me a pill. No, I'm not gonna take it. I'm gonna get through this. I'm gonna give myself an extra day to lay in bed." Like, I had to give myself permission to heal.
And rest. And
Girl,
crazy.
I woke up out of my sleep one day like, I'm supposed to be somewhere or do something, and I was like, "No, you're not. Go back to sleep." Like, it's
We gotta
crazy.
give ourselves permission to rest. There's a page I follow called the Nap Ministry, and I love the message that they preach. And they talk about how Black people have been taught to believe that you know, we don't deserve to rest. It's work, 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 work. But we've been indoctrinated into that kind of thinking. And so I used to being an entrepreneur, I used to really beat myself up like about relaxing and giving myself like I can take a day to do nothing if I want to. And I'm now in the spirit of I'm not going to bully myself into doing something. I'm going to take inspired action. And if I want to relax, if I want to chill, if I want to take a day and do nothing, I'm going to
pause right there for a second. I really want to elaborate on what you said. That goes with not only yourself, but other people's obligations that they want to put on you. Mm-hmm. I missed out on so much being bedridden and in the wheelchair and not mobile. But now I've learned how to say no. Mm-hmm. And not feel bad about it.
Right.
Because I was feeling bad that I couldn't go because I was disabled. Mm-hmm. Then I realized that I needed this rest. I was sleeping like an infant. I would literally eat and sleep and need help going to the bathroom, literally. And I had to be okay with giving myself that time to recover. So I want everyone to know that's one of the keys to healing and recovering. Sleep, deep sleep.
Exactly. That's when your body regulates itself. And so we live in this team no sleep. And sleep, y'all, is something that is so undervalued. The thing about sleep is you cannot make up.
You cannot.
It is gone. And lack of sleep alone, y'all, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, type 2 diabetes. You're more prone to be obese. You're more prone to have mental health issues like bipolar disorder. This is just from not getting sleep, y'all. So once you combine not getting sleep with not eating well, drinking a lot of sodas and eating a lot of refined sugars,
even drinking alcohol,
recipe, you know, for disaster. Right. Having a lot of stress from your job. Like you said, being a lot of people please. You overextend yourself. You can't tell people no. You obligated to your job, to your church, to this. And it's like, you got to know how to set boundaries.
You have to.
You have to. Self-care is not just pampering yourself. That's an element.
Exactly.
Really, it's not just, you know, oh, I went shopping, I went to have brunch with my friends. Self-care is really taking care of yourself.
Literally. It may be laying in the bed for an extra 2 hours, getting more sleep.
It may be doing absolutely nothing. I'm going to do nothing today and I'm going to love it. And not feeling bad about it. Or
not feeling
you're lazy or you should be doing it. Like, you got to listen to your body too. Like me, I have learned to let me listen to my body because the body will shut you down.
Yeah.
Make you listen.
And this is another thing that I want to point out too, because what I was dealing with was internal. Mm-hmm. A lot of people would be like, well, you don't look sick. And I'm like, right. Like, I can barely talk to you. Like, it's taking all my energy just to talk or to think. Like, some days I couldn't even read or watch TV because it strained my eye muscles. Like, every little part of me. So do not let other people put expectations off on you or what you should be doing or what you don't look like you should feel. It's okay to say, I don't feel well, I'm hurting, or I need a nap, or not to answer the phone, not to respond to a text message. It's okay. Like, I want to give people permission to just put yourself first.
Right. And I want to go back to something you said before, because I found this as such a common trend amongst women when I was like an active holistic nutrition coach, like working with people, helping them though. Let's change the eating habits. Yeah. And that's the foundation right there.
That is, okay.
You
just said it so easily. It didn't have the impact on it.
It is the foundation of everything.
Thank you.
Right nutrition, nourishing your body with food that actually promote life and healing.
Right.
This is key to everything, y'all. This is why
because listen, what you eat affects everything. It affects how you feel. It affects if it's poison or if it's going to nourish your body. Absolutely. Then it affects your beauty, your hair, your skin, how you think. Like if you're going to be negative or grumpy or in a good mood, yes.
Your levels of aggression, how you deal with stress, y'all.
Yes.
How they say you are what you eat. This is very, very true. But you said something earlier. You said, you know, I suffered in silence for a while. And I'm just so happy and proud of you for sharing your journey, because so many women suffer in silence. They don't say anything. Yeah. They just stay in pain, or, you know, don't feel like they have anybody to talk to about these things. So you're blindly going along with somebody who doesn't really have your best interest at heart. Yep. Because you don't want to say anything. You don't want to burden anybody, or sometimes there's shame attached to it. So
it was all of that for me. It was all of that.
You have to know that it's okay. Like you can't get help if you don't open your mouth, and nothing shameful about not being well, because guess what? It's so many natural ways for you to begin the healing process. And Crystal has shared so much great information, but I just always really, really, really push, do your own research.
Yes.
Do not let anybody tell you what you should do with your own body.
Yes.
You have to be willing to take that, because it's your life. It's your livelihood. Like she said, I'm just a patient. This is your job.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
When you clock out at 5 o'clock, you're off. I'm living with this 24/7, you know?
Right.
So it's so important. And I really appreciate, you know, you wanting to do this live with me so that we can both educate our audiences. Hopefully they share this live with other people, because I really, like, my heart goes out to other people. Like I said, I thought I was healthy. The very first time I went to physical therapy, I cried. And my dad was with me, and he was like, you gonna be okay? You know, you got this? I said, I know I'm gonna be okay. But look at these other people. Like, this is pathetic. Right. We don't have to live like this. And it made me sad, and it made me empathetic to all the people that are suffering. Like, I really, honestly, truly never knew that so many people were suffering out here. Like I said, I suffered in silence myself. So you brought up a good point.
That they do. Been in holistic health now since 2014. Like, people share very intimate details with me about what they're going through. The average Black woman, she got like probably 3 to 7 ailments she's dealing with, whether it's fibroids, fibromyalgia, depression, anxiety, not sleeping well, not using the bathroom regularly.
Oh my gosh.
It is so many things that women and men too, but I, you know, primarily works with women. So I just saw this as such a common thing. And it's just like, wow, I definitely feel you with that sadness, and people not realizing it's simple, y'all. It's not easy, but it is simple.
There you go.
Yourself and becoming like your own, the doctor of your own life. It's simple, but see, it's gonna require you to give up old ways. I realize that it is a mindset, y'all. It's a mental thing. People are emotionally connected to foods, family traditions, and so you have to be willing to say, I'm gonna change the narrative, because what Crystal said earlier, your health, it affects your whole entire family, and that's what made it switch for me. It was a mental shift. Like, you know what? And I was somebody too who thought I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't eat terrible, but now that I understand what health is, when I thought I was healthy, I was not healthy.
Not at all.
I thought I was healthy, but I did not. I was buying into, you know, I thought drinking a naked juice was good for me. But then I started learning about refined sugars. How many games are played with the food. I realized so many things I thought was healthy, they're not really healthy.
They're not healthy. And the marketing, please, people, do not just look at the marketing, the front of the packages. You better flip that thing over and read them ingredients.
Yes, you do.
And don't be afraid to use your smartphone to be smart and look up some ingredients if you don't know how to pronounce some things, if you don't know what things are.
Eating it if you can't pronounce.
If you can't pronounce, I was getting ready to say.
A rule of thumb, if it got more than like 5 ingredients, I'm not fooling with it.
I was getting ready to say that too.
You should be able to clearly read what it is. start
which means also most of your food should not even be in packages or have labels with it.
Thank you. Absolutely. The majority of what you eat should have no ingredients. It's food in its natural form. And see, it's almost so simple, people don't want to believe that. We're to think, no, I got the doctor, I need a pill, quick fix, but changing lifestyle is that. It is making lifestyle, lifelong changes. And me personally, I was 29 years old when I changed my lifestyle, and I wasn't really trying to change my lifestyle, but life set me down. I broke my ankle, had to get surgery, and this is how I became a regular cannabis user.
Right, I saw that.
Broken a bone in my life, broke my ankle, had to get surgery. I still have a metal plate in my ankle now, and I was prescribed Percocets and Vicodin, and I was like, I can't. I was on bed rest for 4 months. I'm like, I can't take this shit.
Right,
this made me sick to my stomach.
Literally. So, you're just kind of out of it, you know. Just
I hated that feeling.
Yes.
So I started smoking, and during that time, literally, it was like divine intervention. Something came to me and woke me up and said, you have to change your lifestyle.
Yes.
I went in my kitchen the next day and threw everything away and started educating myself. At the time, I'm not married anymore, but my ex-husband, my son, they was like, what the hell is going on? The whole
house. When you know you're serious.
I'm throwing it all away out, and we always had a pantry full of snacks. All the cereal, fruit snacks, fruit cups, Capri Suns. Wow. I was that mom. All the frozen heat and eat type stuff, Stouffer's lasagnas. That was what I thought a meal was, you know. And I had to educate myself from a very kindergarten level.
Literally.
Once I realized, like, wow. I went on a clean eating journey and lost 20 pounds on bed rest, y'all. No exercise. I wasn't even trying to wait. That was when I realized nutrition is the key to everything. My mindset changed. My mental clarity. It was like the lights came on. That was when I realized, like, damn, I have really been unhealthy, and I did not realize it.
Right.
My skin cleared up. My hair got energy levels shot up. I'm like, wow. Like, I feel like
it's a natural high because you feel so good.
And I was compelled to start sharing my journey. I'm like, damn, this is crazy. This is all people have to do. But then I also realized too, like, we're programmed from birth a lot of times. You know, eating habits, traditions, they're passed down generationally. So like how you said, people like, oh, you know, people can be sick, in pain, and are still not willing to give up.
That's the worst for me.
Those behaviors.
That is the worst for me. When they are already suffering and you're not to the point where it's a disability or, you know, I don't care. To me, if it causes pain, that's enough for me. I don't want to keep doing it if I know it's going to make me swell or be inflamed, you know. And I have done that or found that out by testing different foods when I would eliminate things and I would add things back, and I could tell immediately how I felt. And I was like, nope, that's on the do not eat list.
That's with me with dairy. I never thought dairy bothered me until I stopped eating it and tried to go back.
Oh, it's the worst.
I feel terrible.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
Majority of Black people are lactose intolerant. We just don't know it. You are accustomed to having stomach aches. You're accustomed to having gas. You're accustomed to all sorts of things. People have IBS, Crohn's disease, and don't realize, y'all, you're eating foods that you are not even.
Or migraines, and you just think it's normal to have a headache. Oh, I got a headache.
Always had headaches and migraines, and I never made that connection. Let me tell you what was the game changer for me. I had headaches and migraines almost every single day. Like, it was a thing. We're like, my head hurts. And I started learning about refined sugars, aspartame, which is in almost all chewing gum. I was someone who always chewed gum, always had brain. Stopped chewing gum, found natural gum, migraines went away. I was like, oh my goodness. So guys, if you're having headaches, if you're not sleeping well, having acne outbreaks, you're having differences with your hair, it's shedding, it's breaking off, it's dull, because you're a cosmetologist, so am I. So you know that too. Your hair is an extension of your body. Your hair will tell on you as well. If it's breaking off, if it's dry, if you have scalp issues. This is your body telling you something is not right. But a lot of times we don't pay attention to those early red flags like constipation. And constipation is serious. It can kill you. Okay?
Literally. It can kill you.
Regularly, y'all, this is a huge deal.
And I would just say, well, I'm not regular. Like, that's something to accept.
Exactly. Like, you start changing your lifestyle, you realize you're supposed to use the bathroom multiple times a day.
That's not normal. You know, instead of making it it's normal that I don't go to the bathroom but twice a week. That's not normal.
I had a woman tell me one time she was going to the bathroom like once every 10 days. I was like, please, like, listen,
you're about to die.
Yes, please do a detox. Wow. Get some fiber in your system. This can kill you.
People don't think about the amount of food that we intake. Mm-hmm. So where's it going if you're not passing it?
Backed up septic tank, y'all. Literally, literally that's the thought that you can think. It is like a backed up septic tank.
Yep.
And you have all of this just rotting, sitting in your body. You should move your bowels very regularly. And this may be TMI, but for me on a regular day, I might do that 5 times.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Yeah. Well, I feel good about my twice a day now, but for me,
twice a day is good.
Girl, from going from once every 3 days, twice a day is great. Like, I now see how my body is functioning in its natural state, how it's healing. Like, even my hair, you know, I'm a cosmetologist, but I would put a relaxer in my hair every 3-4 months because it was easier. It was more convenient for me as a mom who had 2 kids in sports, as I want to at least show up to the salon looking halfway decent, not like a football soccer mom running around all the time. But it was more convenient than doing the transition for me. But what I had to realize was easier is not best.
And women, you understand what's in a relaxer?
Girl. So I went natural by default, basically, because I couldn't comb my hair because it literally was all falling out, and I had to get my hair done by my sister-in-law. But the beauty behind it is, and one of my passions, it's just amazing how life works and how God still blesses you to be able to now have a purpose behind my passion. So I'm creating skincare products that are clean, herbal, medicinal based for people that have the issues, because I know a lot of people are saying, you know, well, it's not really about the products. Yes, it is. What's in your products that you're putting on your scalp, that you're nourishing your hair strands with, it really helps. And when I was malnutrition, at my weakest, toxic body, and my body was not absorbing any nutrients that I was putting in, so I had to apply them topically to my scalp.
Hair is like an accessory, y'all, to the body. So it's an extension of your body, just like your nails. But if your body is not nourished, it's not going to have anything to give to your hair. It's not going to have anything left over. So this is where you have, when I was when I was still an active stylist in the salon, I only did natural hair, and I would really like to educate my clients on this is how hair works. And I would teach my clients how to love their hair. So many people, so many Black women are conditioned to hate their hair. Oh my God, it's so nappy. So I'm like,
Oh my. Like, I had to stop people from family members from saying that to me.
Stop love into your hair, and you have to start nourishing your body so that it has extra to give to your hair. And I'm actually going to be circling back to the beauty industry because I still have love.
Okay.
I started, so I'm going to be doing CBD infused hair care products for women who are natural or transitioning. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I'm like, now I can combine these 2 things that I'm very passionate about. And ladies and gentlemen too, products have ingredients.
Yes.
And same thing
Yes.
as looking at food that you're gonna eat.
Yes.
A lot of these products that are quote unquote natural, they have toxic ingredients.
Right. Right.
They are endocrine disruptors. They cause inflammation. They cause all kind of harm to the body.
Neurotoxins with all the fragrances in them.
Yeah. Oh my God, fragrance. The word fragrance alone, y'all, can literally mean 100 different chemicals.
Right.
To know what they are, they can just say fragrance.
Yeah.
And so, like you said before, the skin is the largest organ. So you're putting on lotion. Think about this. You put on lotion every day. It's full of chemicals. You put deodorant, has aluminum, all kind of stuff underneath your arms every day, especially for women. We typically shave under our arms.
Right.
It's a correlation between deodorant and breast cancer. Okay.
Right.
You're putting all this stuff in your hair. You're putting on makeup that has toxic ingredients.
Yeah.
This is why women have so many chronic health issues.
Yep.
All right. It's the food,
all the
it's the product. It is a combination.
It is in the putting themselves last, because you always got to take care of someone else.
Putting yourself there in the back.
Like you said earlier, men have these issues too, but women are, and that's statistics.
It's disproportionate, and that's why when it comes to CBD and cannabis, I've had men actually ask me, well, why didn't you just do why is it only for women? And I'm like, well, anybody can use CBD, but me being a Black woman, I know what the struggle is. I've worked with women for years, and even with my own healing, we have more health issues. Black women have issues than any other group of people. So this is the information that we need. And also, women tend to be, you're the matriarch of the house. So if you're willing to change, you can have everybody else in the house on the same path. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You plant those for your children.
Right.
Because sickness, these diseases like high blood pressure, high cholesterol, a lot of people say, oh, it runs in our family, but no disease runs in the family, y'all. It
doesn't. It does not.
Habits. It's you seeing, repeating.
Learned behavior. It's learned behavior.
Right. So I had to unlearn everything and start over. Yep. I had to say, you know what? Both of my parents had serious autoimmune diseases. And
I don't want to be like that.
My age, okay?
Yep.
My mom was 35. My dad was probably 37.
Wow.
And my dad, his MS is severe.
Wow.
And so I'm like, I have to do my due diligence. I literally have people who ask me, like, why, like, it's not something that you reach a stopping point. When it comes to your health, it's a lifelong journey.
It is. It is.
Process that you never step away from.
Right. It's not, how long do I have to do that? It's, you do this forever. For the rest of your life. Right.
It
Forever.
becomes your life. Like, for
and
me,
speaking of a lifestyle, like my sister, she has a company where she makes natural gourmet body products. So she has all natural health soaps, body butters, oils that have none of these toxic ingredients, chemicals. It's all natural. So shout out to the Black Belt Soap Company, because of her, I always used her soaps and everything, but I couldn't stand up in the shower anymore. So I had to take baths now. So I fell in love again with taking baths. Like, when is the last time as an adult? I know I didn't. I guess because I was so busy ripping and running, always, taking care of other people, doing the most. But just taking a bath, girl, is so relaxing and soothing.
A CBD bath, y'all.
Oh my gosh.
Bath bomb. Do yourself a favor.
Yes.
You definitely check out her sister's natural products.
Yeah.
Have CBD bath bombs that are all, ingredients are all natural, and I'm a stickler for that. Like,
yes.
If I'm not gonna use it for myself, I'm not going to try to sell it to anybody else.
Right. Okay? Exactly. And that's how my husband got motivated to do what he's doing now, because everything that we use and we did, and he see, like, y'all, this stuff really, really works. Like, my wife couldn't walk. Like, I had to bathe her and wipe her butt. And, like, he's like, I know this. And we actually took your class.
He did. I'm so happy that
Jared, you want to see? I'm a look,
He
Keba. This is
up,
Keba.
y'all, and he got some valuable
Yeah, I
information.
took the class. The class is on
Hey,
point. A1, Kiva, shout out.
So he's opening up his CBD store too, and we look forward to working with you more as a student for that, because you guys, we are proof. You know, my story is proof. Your story, what you've seen with your parents and how you've changed your life, this stuff works and it's natural.
I get from people, y'all. People have messaged me and said I'm in tears because I used a CBD tincture, or I slept for the whole night for the first time in years.
Kiva, oh my gosh.
I couldn't even take a few steps without being in pain. Like, this is changing my life, and this is why I go so hard for it. And I've had so many people question what I'm doing. I know people judge me for how I show up, but I have to keep doing it because I know the importance of this, and I know that we have to learn about natural forms of
healing.
And that cannabis is ancient, y'all. This can be found in the oldest medical book on earth, traced back to Kemet.
It can be found in Genesis, okay?
Right, it's in the Bible, okay, several times. Literally. So, guys.
Yeah. So I like to tell people, honestly, everything that we need to heal, God already created. And it's within us. It's within us. We have the power. We have the authority. Now we have the knowledge, the technology to research and find these things. So there's no excuse. There's no excuse. The only reason now for people to not heal and recover is because you don't want to do the work. Mm-hmm. But that's one of my missions with my personal brand, Inside Out, Top to Bottom. I really want people to fight for their life, like fight for your quality of life.
And for your family, because if you, God forbid, die early, like, you got to think about who you're leaving behind. And so,
Keba, I literally had a family meeting. I called my husband and my boys in. I was like, here's my life insurance policy. Girl, they was like, what? But I felt like I was going to die. And I couldn't breathe. My heart was irregular. I couldn't walk. I didn't want to live like that.
Right.
I didn't want to die, but I didn't want to live like that. You know, and I never had suicidal thoughts. You know, that's what, but I say that and I'm not even going to take it lightly, because I've talked to people who have had suicidal thoughts because they didn't want to live like that. So if you don't want to live like that, be motivated to change. Be motivated to do your stretches when it hurts. You know, like I used to break out in sweats, just getting on the floor and just getting back up. If that's where you're starting, do that. Just do something every day. Move your body. Try to find some type of way to enhance yourself every single day. And you'll look back and you're like, oh my gosh, look how far I've come.
And it just starts with taking small steps. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Small steps. Not everybody is going to cold turkey change everything around. But you start taking small steps and you're consistent. See the difference in how you feel. Right. That is what keeps you motivated to keep going. Y'all, your life, your health, it is your most valuable asset. Nothing is more important than your health. Like, your health is your wealth. Yeah. Because guess what? When your body decides, okay, enough is enough, I'm shutting it down, all the money in the world is not going to help you. You have to fight for yourself. And, you know, being proactive. A lot of times we're reactive. We wait until things happen. And so this is why doing your due diligence now, eating healthy, reducing stress in your life. You know what I'm saying? You may have to set boundaries, cut some people off. Stop watching stressful things on TV.
Exactly.
Like, stop negativity.
I want to look. No, it's funny, or people may not even know the severity of it, but I have a limit. I do not watch scary movies.
Right.
And my family, you know, they're like, Mom, seriously, you're not going to watch this with us? No. Because all the jumping and the being afraid, it's like, no, it wrecks my nervous system. So I laughed when you said it, but you're so serious. And sometimes I don't think people really listen to the words that we're saying about the lifestyle changes, like going to bed early, telling people no. You can't watch certain things if it will upset you or excite you or make you scared. You just can't do that.
Can't be me. I will redirect the conversation in a heartbeat, or just be like, you know what? I'm not available to talk about this. I leave my phone on do not disturb the majority of the time because I'm busy. You know, I go to bed. I rest when I need to rest. And I'm the same way, very protective of my ear and eye gates. I don't listen to certain music anymore. I don't watch a lot. I don't watch TV a lot anyway. When I do watch TV, I'm very selective.
Exactly.
Watch now.
Exactly.
Mindful to not absorb. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Absorb it. I do not watch the news. I have never watched the news. And people say, not even the world news. No. All right. I'm a focus on everything that's going right here in my own. I don't need to know all the negative shit that's happening. For what? You know, why do I need to know about
that? Instills fear. You know, you're afraid of
anxiety. People wonder why I can't sleep. You are going to sleep with the news on,
right?
TV on,
and your brain is subconsciously listening to that.
It never stops, right? So your subconscious is absorbing all of this. So you have to learn how to eliminate stress, because we invite a lot of stress in by default. And just remember, guys, the majority of illnesses come from stress and inflammation. And we are in more control of this than we give to ourselves. You can greatly reduce the amount of stress you have in your life by setting boundaries, by making lifestyle changes.
I don't say anything that I don't mean. I don't volunteer. You know how people be like, well, if you need some help, call me. I'm not going to say that. If I know that
people are, I do help people a lot in ways.
Me too. But I say it when I mean it. I say it when I mean it.
I'm not going to overextend myself, and I will say no.
Right.
If the vibe is not right, I am not present at all, period.
Right.
And even with my son is 19 years old, and there'll be times where he's having anxiety. I'm like, son, I'm listening to the music you're listening to.
Right.
1 week.
Right.
He'll start using his CBD tincture every single time. It's like, wow, Ma, like, anxiety.
And I have a 19-year-old also, and he played, well, he's graduated now, but when he played football in high school, we used to CBD him down from the hits that he would take. And he also drinks CBD tea because it helps with the inflammation when he was starting to get acne before he wanted to really change his diet. Girl, now he sees the CBD and changing his diet. He's like, I don't have acne anymore.
Right.
Because even the kids are seeing this and they can use it.
And I have parents wyou reach out to me and say, you know, is this safe for children? And I tell everybody the same thing. Hey, it's your child. You have to do what you feel is right for you. We have other, absolutely. I would give it to my heartbeat, because it's safer than any medication they'll prescribe to your child.
If they have a headache, CBD oil and water and go lay down.
Right. Yes. And I, of course, no smokable products, but giving your child CBD tincture, if they're having ADD, ADHD, trouble focusing, too hyper, for one, changing their diet, y'all. They have a lot of children, especially Black children, on these medications because they have ADD on the spectrum for autism. Changing their diet, guys. Going the route. There's actually a book that a couple wrote about how their son was diagnosed with ADD, and they wanted to put him on all these medications, and they changed his diet, got him on a plant diet, and totally turned it around. With your children, you know, you have to plant those seeds. Like, my son, it was an uphill battle. I changed my lifestyle. It was cold turkey. I'm not buying this no more. I went from having a full of snacks to we're not doing that anymore. And I had to put my foot down at times.
And then they look in the pantry and they're like, we don't have anything to eat. Yes, we do. You have apples, bananas. You can make your fruit salad, make a smoothie.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, you know, we're conditioned to believe that we're rewarding our children by giving them candy, taking them into McDonald's. And it's like, you have to take a step back as a parent and realize that this is indoctrinating your children into very unhealthy behaviors. And there's nothing rewarding about it, because they're going to pay for that. You got children now elementary age children who have grown people diseases, high
Girl,
pressure, high cholesterol, type 2
obesity.
obesity, little girls starting their periods in second grade
Yeah,
because of their hormones being
yeah,
all over the place.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I used to actually go and speak at schools about this. And, you know, as a parent, you have to be willing to control what's in your house. So I decided,
Exactly.
hey, my house is a junk-free zone. We not
Yeah.
doing it.
Yeah.
And my son is not all the way plant-based.
Yeah.
He goes in and out, but he knows if you want to go eat trash, you're not gonna eat it here. You gotta go out there and do your thing.
But at least I like the fact that they understand when they do eat that, they need a couple of days to detox their body again. Because my son, you know, and of course my 13-year-old, he eats healthier than any 13-year-old I know, but he's not totally there either, you know.
Right.
But they do understand the fact that this is a cheat meal, you know, so they know, they recognize when something is not all the way plant-based or almost raw, you know, that hey, this is a cheat meal. So
my son drinks when I juice, he drinks the fresh. To me, it's like, okay, I really been eating. Like let's do a detox.
Yep.
So like we did the alkaline vegan in the month of December. Me and my son.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Market together, and so I never let up, y'all. I continue to plant the seeds, and so now I can see my son go in the kitchen, make a smoothie, see him outside,
exactly,
because he sees me doing.
Yep.
You know, just go to the park and be in nature.
Right. Wow. Go outside and play. You know,
right.
Do something outside. So when people talk about doing this and making these changes, just make it a whole family change. Absolutely. Or you look, at the least, I say you stay consistent so they can see you doing it, and then it'll motivate somebody else to want to do it also.
It will. When it comes to changing your lifestyle, you have to be willing to lead by example.
Yeah.
When I first really got into health and wellness hardcore, everybody questioned what I was doing. For one, I lost 20 pounds, and I was already, you know, I'm a slim person, so I got really early. I don't know, you might need to start back. People would just questioning everything I was doing. It's like, you know what, I'm okay with being different.
Right.
People would make fun of what I ate. It's like, listen, I know what I'm doing, but then later everybody was, oh my God, I need to do this too. Like, help me. So you have to be willing to just be different. Like I would, you know, go to traditionally we're eating this type of food at certain events. I'm gonna eat before I go, or I'm gonna come with my own food. Like that's how serious I was about the lifestyle change. Right. And even still now, it's like I'm not gonna compromise. I can never slide back.
Because you know how it makes you feel. And when you have a bigger why, it's easier than just it's a diet or it's a fad because everybody else doing it or that's the thing to do. Right. No, this is life or death, literally.
It is.
It's survival.
It is your life, and you don't get a second shot at it. It is your most valuable asset.
No. And people, you know, people say, I'm going to die from something. Okay, well, how do you want your quality of life before you die or until you die? I want my independence. I want to be mobile. You know, I love being outside. I'm an active person. So being in a wheelchair, that was torture for me. That was literally torture. So in order for me to get my mobility back and my independence back, it required work and changes. And was it hard? Yes, it was hard. It was hard physically. It was hard mentally because I didn't just say, oh, I'm going to try to walk again. And I started walking 3-4 days later. No, it was
process. You had to put in work.
Girl, years. But
work all at the same time.
All of it. But even believing, you know, and then just the mindset, the mental strength of my body doesn't want to do this, but I have to tell it can.
Will it? You had to take control. I'm in control of my mind. I'm in control of my body. Like you literally are living proof of taking complete control of your circumstances, of not being a victim. Like I'm going to be a victor of this. And then now you're going to be able to help so many other people just because you were brave enough to say, no, I don't accept I don't accept what you guys are telling me. I'm gonna do it my way. And for me, if I wouldn't have changed my lifestyle, y'all, I don't even know what it scares me about what I was doing, who I was prior to. I was in a toxic relationship with somebody I had been with for 10 years. I changed my lifestyle. I left my marriage. I started a whole new career path. Like, literally, that was how serious I was about it, because I saw what it did for me.
And you know what, Keba, when you said that, that's a very important fact too, because a lot of people don't attribute their relationship stress with their sickness and their illness.
Oh yeah, but that could be a leading cause, I would say.
Okay, because you live with that person.
It would have been, and I feel like that was why I broke my ankle. That was why during that time I had that divine intervention. Like, you have to take care of you. Yeah. And it was like, once I started that path, the lights came on, and it made me realize, for me to be the woman I really want to be, I can't stay in this relationship. Ooh. You know, I have to continue on this path solo. Everybody thought I was crazy. No, you should. I know what I'm doing. I'm trusting my own.
Right.
I have to continue down this path, but I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing right now had I not changed what I was eating, y'all. Wow. Literally, it started with me changing my eating habits and making a agreement with myself. I'm going to place my body, my health before everything, no matter what.
I love it.
Of course, being an entrepreneur, I've gone completely broke. If you guys were tuning into the workshop, I told the story of having to give back my Lexus, move out of my condo, and literally start from square one. But guess what? I never stopped taking care of myself. Right. I still ate healthy. Right. There was a time where I couldn't even go to the gym because I couldn't afford my membership anymore. I'm gonna work out at home.
Thank you. Yes.
That feed me. I'm not gonna just sink and shrink and say, oh, F it all. Let me start back eating hamburgers. So like, no. If nothing else, I have to hold on to the most valuable asset that I have, and that is my health.
I love it. And
so
that's just right.
Y'all, it is not expensive when you really learn what
Girl. If I get that the most. Oh, it costs so it's so expensive to eat healthy. A piece of lettuce and a piece of fruit and wild rice or of a sweet potato is not expensive than steak or beef. Or like,
people get it confused because they buy into the marketing. And if you're picking up all this prepackaged stuff that says organic, gluten-free, that's the stuff. All the fake vegan stuff. See, I don't know that stuff. That's the stuff that's expensive. But when you are truly eating fruit, vegetables,
plant-based, whole plant-based foods,
it is cheap.
Yeah,
it is much cheaper. Yeah. The processed foods are what are expensive. And then, guys, what you got to realize, too, is when you're eating unhealthy, you're paying for it twice because you're spending money on it. But
financially,
you're not healthy. So you're giving away your health.
Yep.
Right?
Look, more than one way.
To have to be patient, to have to be in pain. Like, you know what I'm saying? Living in chronic pain. Not feeling confident in yourself. Not having that vitality and energy, excitement about life. I'm like, it's a totally different thing. You feel totally different when you are taking care of yourself. So, we've been out here. I'm like, we could talk about this all day. Thank you guys so much, Crystal. We definitely have to do this again. I mean, people in the comments. So you are just amazing. Like, your story is phenomenal. And I am just so proud that we crossed paths. Like,
I know.
Thank you so much for agreeing to do this live. So y'all, we'll plan to do this again in the future.
Definitely. I want us to stay in touch because I love what you're doing. You're motivating people out here, changing lives. So I definitely want to continue networking and working with you to get this message across, because the more people that we can spread our message to and show them that this is real, like, this works. Absolutely. Like, that's my whole purpose and my passion. So it's so great to actually meet you in person and do this live with you. And I really hope that we have helped You know, you all let us know. Give us some feedback. Let us know.
Did you guys learn some stuff? Please let us know. Found this live stream to be valuable. That's my biggest passion too. Is really my desire. My highest desire is to help people help themselves, and that is through education. It's through sharing. It is through giving information so people can use it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want y'all to just listen. I want you to take action.
Right. Look, I don't make my videos and share for a like and a, you know,
right.
I really want to motivate you all, you know, and I know that I do. A lot of people, you know, inbox me and email me, and I have consultations with people, and they're like, because of you, I know that I can recover and I can heal. And that's what I truly want to portray in the message that I want to express to everyone. So with your help, Keba, with what I'm doing, we're going to keep doing it and changing lives, girl.
Spreading this message, plant-based medicine, plant-based healing, that you have the power to heal yourself. You are the doctor of your own body, of your own life. Never let somebody put final say on you and what you can and cannot do. And if nothing else, guys, take a step tomorrow. You don't need to wait until Monday.
Do something.
Next Monday, take a step tomorrow. Decide tomorrow. I'm gonna eat healthy. I'm gonna get proper rest. I'm gonna drink water. I'm gonna use some CBD. Just take a step. Watch some documentaries and start educating yourself. Work Overnight is a great documentary.
Yes.
The Beautiful Truth is a great documentary. Read books, watch YouTube videos. There's so many resources out here for you guys. I have a free ebook if you want to know more about hemp and CBD, how it's processed in the body, and why everybody should be using CBD. Literally. Using black seed oil, getting out in nature, getting direct sunlight, y'all. A lot of these steps you can start taking. It doesn't even cost you anything.
Right, it's free.
Like you said, come up with a bedtime. Disconnect from your devices. You know, take a day to really just disconnect from everything. Turn off the news. Stop watching negativity on TV. Gossiping and listening to negative stuck in their ways. So these are just take a step. You know, the journey, the path of healing and really changing your lifestyle is different for everybody. But it's a common thread amongst everybody I know who's taking the journey.
That's right.
But you got to trust it. You have to trust it.
Right.
It does work.
And you know, it works, but you have to work. And so, Keba, when I talk to people and consult with them, my audience is more of a bedridden or disabled or, you know, some type of pain or injury where they cannot do things or go in places. So I tell them all the time, you have a job every day. You do. You have to get up and work on yourself every day. Don't just lay there in bed, watch TV all day, eat bad, and have people wait on you and help you out. Get up every day and do something. Even if you're bedridden, work out.
We go there.
Yes.
If you can't physically get up, if you're not at that level yet, you have to mentally there.
I told you I used to dream about it. I can see it so good. I used to dream about it.
But that's the important part, y'all, too. It's understanding how powerful your mind is. And you use your mind to will you into a better space, or you can sit back and not utilize the power that you have within yourself. So I guess, do you have any last words you want to say before we end?
I just want to end with this reminder. Do something every single day, whether it's your nutrition, whether it's some type of spiritual practice, just talking to God. A lot of people are afraid of prayer. I don't know what prayer really is. It's just a conversation with God. I used to have some interesting conversations. You know, I would tell him, you know, I don't like this. You said you wouldn't put more on me than I can bear. It seems like it's too much to bear. You know, it's okay to have those conversations. That's an outlet. You know, you have to let go of that frustration. You have to find somebody positive to be around and to talk to, who's going to lift you up and pour into you. So I just want people to know every single day you can do something. You can do something, whether it's changing one meal at a time. Everything you put in your mouth, think about it. Think about the thoughts that you're thinking about. Think about the thoughts that you're thinking about. If I just think about, oh, I'm in pain, I can't work, I lost this, I lost that, you're going to start being depressed. Think about what you're thinking about and change those thoughts. There's always something we can do. And if you continue to do this each and every day, you're going to look back and your life is going to look totally different.
Absolutely.
So that's what I want to end with.
Okay, guys, we're going to end. Thank you guys for being such a great audience, and we will do this again in the future. I'm going to share this on my page, so if you did not catch this live stream from the beginning, I highly, highly, highly recommend you watch the replay from the beginning, take notes, and more importantly, take action. You know, small action is still action. So everybody can start with the journey of healing and just living healthier, having a better quality of life. Teaching better habits to your children, to your other family members. Everybody can start this process, okay?
Yep.
So y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and get off because it is actually past my bedtime.
Right, it's time for bed now.
Go to bed.
Right.
Right.
All right, good night. Bye, everybody.